Hi guys, so quickly I'm just going to do an illustration on the trade that I took. I've got like 3 trades that I took on USDCHF, EURGBP and USDCAD. So I'm just going to quickly explain how I came up to that decision to trade these 3 currency pairs. So starting with the USDCHF, I gave the guys in the group an assignment about this bounce here that we saw, this retracement to the upside to 50% of this demand engulf. You see, we've got a demand zone here which was engulfed here. So me taking a short trade on USDCHF, I took it from the 50% mean threshold of this engulfing candle which engulfed this demand here. So we've got a demand zone which was broken to the downside, this level here. Market broke to the downside and closed below, testing this low here. So using supply and demand basics means this level was engulfed here, meaning when price comes back to this level, you need to be a what? A seller. So that's basically how I framed the concept on this short trade that I took on USDCHF. So if we go to lower time frames, you can clearly see we had a big rejection now from that demand that is turned into supply, and we clearly have a secular return to the zone. That's a good indication that the level is gonna be a good level to trade from. Then you go to a daily. Now on daily you can clearly see the price action that happened. Momentum was dying down, heading into that level which is now turned into a what? Into a supply zone. And then if I go to an H4 time frame, you can clearly see the traders actually panned out more than expected. It even rallied close to like 100 pips, but because I was in a class with the other mentorship students, I couldn't close the trade, but I'm still gonna hold this trade possibly to reach these levels here or all the way to 0.90725. But what I'm gonna do now on USDCHF, I'm just gonna take a bit off from the position. I'm gonna scale down a bit. I'm in a position with the 0.15 lot size, so I'm gonna take half of that position off the table and then trail my stop loss. So to do that, I'm gonna go new order. Right, once I go new order, what's half of 0.15? We're looking at 0.0, let's just say 7. So I'm gonna take off 0.07 and close that position. That means I've got 0.08 left on the table, and of that 0.08 I'm going to adjust my stop loss here. Just gonna trail it so that I know that I've taken off something from the market, right? So now the second trade that I took was EURGBP, and to the guys in the group, you clearly know the price point that I mentioned in regards to EURGBP. It was the 0.91310 price point. 91360, yes, 91360. That was the entry point which I suggested that you should be hunting for short trades on 0.91360. As you can see, that is where my entry is. It was a sell limit that I executed here. The reason being that I wasn't anticipating market to push all the way to the upside. So this is a monthly candle. I'm gonna drop down to a weekly. 91360. Why that price point? The reason was because of this imbalance here. You see, we've got imbalance on a weekly time frame. So I was expecting price to trade and close that imbalance before it starts turning bearish. So if we go to a daily time frame, I'm just gonna touch on a bits and pieces, guys. I don't want the video to be too long. You can see the imbalance here. We had price opening with a gap to the downside. This was a Monday opening. That was the imbalance. And then we've got our level that we were watching here, 91360. Price traded up to it and then traded lower for a return of close to 67 pips so far. So if you go to a lower time frame H4, you can clearly see I'm in a position with a 0.1 lot size. So I'm gonna take off half of the position of the table. I'm gonna take off half of the position. Right, I'm gonna close it, and then I'm gonna trail stop this position to this old loss here, and then I'm gonna let it run. And then finally we've got USDCAD. USDCAD, this one was purely based on dollar weakness, the weakness that has been coming into dollar index. You see, that's where I was basing my USDCAD trade on. So you can see on a monthly chart, we had price testing old lows, closed the fair value gap to the upside, and then now it's starting to push to the downside. Old demand that has turned into supply on a weekly level. Then if we go to a daily time frame, you can clearly see the same setup on USDCHF is the same setup that we were looking at here on USDCAD. We've got our last up close candle, this candle here, the last up close candle. This was the trigger for me to go to the downside. As you can see, it traded 50% of this last up candle here. You could have used this candle also. You can see price went straight to its closing price. That's on a daily time frame, guys. You must take note. So there's a whole lot of pips on offer. So when you go to H4, you can clearly see price started meandering, ranging and everything, but eventually price massively dropped to the downside for a reward of 72 pips so far. So same applies with the other two assets. I'm going to take off half of the position on USDCAD. I'm going to take off half of the position. This is for your learning purpose, guys, so that you know that you've got something. Don't hold a trade and then eventually that trade is going to go against you without even taking something off the market. So we're going to close half of the position. Now for us to trail stop this trade here is still a bit tricky. The reason being that price hasn't moved away that much. If you look at EURGBP, the last 2 days price rallied and then it dropped. This drop is quite massive. If you look at USDCHF, we go to our daily, you see with 2 days of price drop, only today that it closed bullish but not strong bullish. So we're anticipating price to trade lower. If I'm taken out of this trade, it means Thursday's price action would have closed way above Wednesday's high, which can only be possible because of fundamentals. Other than that, we're still gonna see further drop to the downside. So coming back to USDCAD, I'm gonna go to H4 time frame. I'm only gonna trail it to these old lows here, right? Because market has got a tendency of retracing back. Like here you can see that market was just offering sell side liquidity. Market has got a tendency of trading back to close the liquidity void, like what it did here. You can see market offered sell side liquidity and slowly clipped to the upside, closed the liquidity void before it dropped massively. So if this trade is gonna pan out correctly, that's why I had to take off something off the table. Tomorrow we should see further drop to the downside. So yeah, this is what I wanted to illustrate to you guys. And for those who haven't subscribed to the channel, just click the subscription button and make sure your notifications are turned on, as I'm uploading quite a few videos online. And if you'd like to join the mentorship, just send me a message or visit my website. There's all the information there. And I wish you guys good luck and happy trading. Thank you.